Ho, ho, ho. Merry All Souls Day. Yeah, I kind of missed the boat on doing Halloween. It's too bad. Not that I really had too much more for ideas as to different types of runs to do. It would have at least been, I don't know, a bit more appropriate given that this is a very horror-themed game. But hey, All Souls Day is just fine, right? Everybody loves that. You know, I was praying for the souls of adults who have not been baptized or whatever. Let's just get out this year. And I had all of these haunted dolls lined up for Halloween too. I mean, let me tell you, it's not that hard actually to get a bunch of haunted dolls, but getting them all in the same place together without them fighting with each other, that's the more tricky bit going. Of course, as you know, dolls are natural vessels for souls, and you might think that what you think of as stuff like the uncanny valley effect, where you find dolls creepy or whatever, that is actually the doll trying to suck in your soul. And no, it's not some sort of like evolutionary trait or whatever to identify like non-human individuals or whatever. No, that's actually just trying to take your soul. Gotta watch out for that sort of thing. Actually used to work in a let's not be too specific lest somebody actually finds the place that I'm talking about. A distribution center for toys. Specifically dolls. Let's just go with that. So I've been around a lot of dolls, and let me tell you, you get desensitized to that pretty quickly. It's not as frightening as you might think. What a time that was. Coming in like 5 a.m., just staring at dolls' faces all day. It was a job, certainly. Not a minute in, and we're talking about baptism and dolls. I got a lot of stuff to say about dolls. You know, my mom owns it's very hard to explain exactly what it is, but she was a teacher for many, many years, and somehow at one point got a hold of this tiny doll that was fully dressed up to look like a... God, how do you even explain this? It looks like a child if they were like wearing a hat and overalls and everything. So it's actually kind of hard to tell that it's a doll because it's also in a position where it is like kind of hunched over as if it's like covering its face or whatever. So a lot of people were very confused as to why, you know, aside from myself and my brother, there was also this small child sitting in the corner like he had been bad. I don't know if it's still, I don't know if she still has that, but it's like that was always one of those confusing things to explain to a guest. Anywho, just finished lunch. Oh, I got my lunch right here. It's coffee. I just got coffee. We're doing coffee. Plot twist, it never was a doll. It doesn't actually have like a face or anything. It just is, it is so immaculately dressed that it does look at first glance like a real person. But it's All Souls Day? It's All Souls Day. Get it? Like, I did a shtick at the beginning of the stream, which is to say nobody saw it unless you're watching the VOD later. November 2nd, man. Comes right after the Day of the Dead. What, don't you celebrate these classic Catholic holidays? Doll's monologue doodle-ag. No. One take. I don't do multiple takes. Anyway, the entire bit that I'm doing here today is let's just have a good run. I've had a lot of very unsuccessful runs recently. This time, I'm just going to get a win. So we got damage over time, Alchemic Carbine, Octo's Bow, etc. and so on. 5-cell mode. I'm going to beat this. I'm going to beat this. Don't even worry. It's going to be hopefully successful. I mean, I know. It's also a run that I've done many times before. Dark Firebird. Touch it. Every day, always same runs, play the same game. He couldn't even die in Enderman. That also would have been a bit more appropriate if it was Halloween again. Oh well. What do you got? I don't even know what I want here now. Just get it going here. All Cells Day ASMR. I mean, this is not ASMR enough for you? I think it's going pretty well. It's Dia de Finados, literally Dead's Day. Oh, I think what is traditionally known as Day of the Dead, I know is the first, and that is for like deceased children or whatever, and this is All Souls Day, which is for deceased adults, if I'm getting my, I think it's Catholic days correct? Whatever. Cinco de Mayo is real. Well, I mean, that's a different Day of the Dead. I'm talking about like a Catholic stuff. Very much a different beast entirely. There we go. There we go. Actually, I'm going to keep what I got right now. How about a wholesome Talos principle? I don't actually own the Talos principle, so I can't really do that. I am probably going to be doing a little bit of Undermine later on. I actually found out that you can, in Undermine, you can now turn off New Game Plus, so I don't need to, yeah, there we go. Don't need to be working with 2 different save files anymore. I can just go with the one that I've been doing the entire time here. Yeah, woo, Undermine. I have been enjoying that game a lot lately. It has it has recaptured me once again. One of those things that's like nobody asked for, it's just for me. Which are traditionally games like Puss or Baba Is You. So I guess be happy that it's not even weirder. I was gonna do No Delivery also for Halloween, but never ended up doing that, mostly because of Persona. Also been playing Persona a lot lately. Most of the changes with the Royal are in dungeons, it seems. So the next episode is basically going to be a bunch of stuff related to that. And also I do need to do a lot more studying first before that even happens. Get to learn all about the Ishi. Good stuff, good stuff. Ever gonna go back to Noita? Yeah, probably. It's just, as of right now, it's such a hard game, and I'm trying to juggle a bunch of different Persona. I'm trying to do Persona, basically. It's not even a bunch of different games, it's just the one. But, yeah, I'll probably go back to that soon enough. That would probably even be a decent time. There's mod support in the game now. I think it would be pretty fun. So how about better Mementos? Haven't gotten to Mementos yet. You do have to remember that it takes like 10 hours to get to that point in the first place. Still in Kamoshida. Oh yeah, CrossCode. I have also been playing CrossCode a lot lately. I'm in the 2nd dungeon of that game currently. It's pretty good. That game is so much better than I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be crap so that I could just brush it under the rug and forget entirely about it. But no, it's a quality game. Took me like 20. Well, if you look at my English save file, it took me apparently like 140 hours just because I had that game on so much, apparently. Oh, that game. Why is Persona so long? Speaking of games that are too long for their own good. So much circular dialogue, but that's neither here nor there. That's for the 300 more episodes of that series left to go. Hey, at least the Royal is getting there. I do like a lot of the changes that they got to the dungeons, even though that's not the problem I had with the game. It's not the dungeons. The dungeons were fine. I love the dungeons. Those are my favorite. Whatever. Again, go watch the Persona series. It's great. All right. 72. Yeah, but you see, this is the exact reason as to why this is such a... I always recommend this run for this exact reason. God, it's so good. Oh, I do also want to turn my diet back to fruitarian once again. Gotta stay on brand. Gonna make a 2D dungeon crawler with Dead Cells style fighting. Oh, good luck with that, because Dead Cells is a game that very much based around its speed, accuracy, difficulty, of course. That's gonna be pretty hard to tune, but I would definitely look forward to it. I mean, I have said before that it's like, if you send me a game specifically to play, I will play it. I had there was one guy that was supposed to be giving me a beta for one of his games on Twitter about a month back or so. Still haven't heard anything from him. I mean, given how game development usually goes, that's no surprise that there's always a sliding time scale of when releases are, but I would still interested if you're out there. Hey, Alexander. Yeah, damage over time, fire, and bleed. DOT. More dots, more dots. Okay, that's enough dots. Doc, I blame you for my obsession with NetHack. It's been 3 days and I can't stop playing. Oh, man. That's why I had to stop playing roguelikes, like proper roguelikes, for a while there, because I would get obsessed with those things. And, you know, of course, being the way those things work is that you gotta redo the entire game if you die. There's no permanent progress in a proper roguelike. It's you could be there for a while. I think it took me like 300 hours, like non-stop days of playing Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup before I crushed that thing like the bug that it was. Of course, at this point in time, that game has gotten so many updates that it's not even recognizable as the version I played back in the day. 5.4, I think, was the version of that I beat, and it's on like update 15 now or something. Oh boy, Swarm adds a lot to Hooktos. I should have thrown on Swarm. That's actually a good point, because I do always want to see that weapon as being better than it actually is. Each bite has plus damage. Well, I mean, you know, that's the entire reason behind having the damage over time build too. It's like each tick of damage gives you each tick of damage gives you a extra damage, but you can also get damage over time, like poisons enemies with a swarm, which is what I might want. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go for the more powerful. We going to the graveyard? Yeah, sure. But the idea of a proper roguelike is dumb. Yeah, well, I disagree. There's a difference between a roguelite and a roguelike. I hold to that. And you can't stop me. All right, what do I even want here? Maybe, you know, combo could actually be kind of good. Get a little bit of extra damage. How much is Vengeance? Make sure that I'm not taking too much damage here. The combat, I love the RPG mechanics, but the combat's less any kind of flair or satisfying feeling. Yeah, I guess it is pretty simple when you literally walk into enemies to attack, but it's not individual I guess I shouldn't have even taken that from the last area then. Individual fights are not where those games shine, because it's the prep work, it's dealing with impossible scenarios that you might find yourself in. It's, you know, combining items and blah, blah, blah. It's a bunch of different stuff there. But I would say that, you know, literally just running into a jackal to make it dead is not has never really been a super engaging part of the genre. It's true. But it's also, you know, you're working with like ASCII art and turn-based mechanics. There's only so much to do. You know what I'm saying? Good. Really starting to get there. Tangle Deep has nice animations. Animations? Ugh. Not a proper roguelike. Roguelike. Why'd they have to be... Why did the secondary genre have to sound so similar to the... whatever. Doesn't matter. Actually, what do you got? I don't really need the infantry all that much. Turn-based battles in themselves are often the weakest point of RPGs. Well, it's not turn-based battles. It's turn-based game. Straight up. Everything you do takes turns, whether it's movement, fighting, talking, all that sort of stuff. That I would say more than anything else is what makes a proper roguelike, in my mind. And the fighting, I mean, when you do get into it, some of the fights are pretty great. I always think back to a bit in NetHack where I came across a Titan that was constantly spawning enemies on top of me. And the only way that I could even leave the area was by taking every single one of the wands that I had gathered over the course of the run and snapping them in half above my head. It was just a huge amount of fire and lightning, death energy. And I did manage to get out of it, but just barely. I was probably going to die. I was really thinking that I might have died myself just because of the amount of magical energy that was exploding around me at all points in time, but I did get out of it anyway. But yeah, it's the games, those proper roguelikes are great, is what I'm saying. Because you can do stuff like that. Have enemies transform into ancient black dragons because they stepped on a polymorph trap in the gnomish mines. The game gives and the game takes away. All right. What have I been up to? Persona, basically. A lot of Persona. Still learning that. Of course. So confusing trying to remember how which one is pronounced. Roguelite, roguelike. They're both hard consonants in that way. It's not... It ain't easy being cheesy. All right, well, I think I got pretty much everything I'm going to get here. Let's go. Love turn-based combat like Heroes Might and Magic, Divinity, Original Sin 2. Very much roguelike style. I haven't really looked into it too much. Couldn't tell you. Thinking more movie. Oh yeah, throw in the bash from Ori. That was the best part of that game when I was playing it. Strategic Retreat. That's right. I just got that. I mean, I think that much in the same way that I say that the... What do I even want here, first off? How about Alienation? Make sure that I'm going to survive here pretty well. Much in the same way that I say that Rally is one of the best mechanics that it was introduced, you know, with Bloodborne, or, well, was popularized with Bloodborne. I don't really know what you would say here. Ori's Bash could easily be that same sort of thing if more people actually used it, basically. A great idea. Gain a Phoenix at the beginning of the run. Slowly. Oh, you're talking about the game you're making. And read well enough right now. Many other things going on. Doc, will you do a PlayStation 4 giveaway? I don't have money to do a giveaway. You don't get free stuff from watching me. Let me tell you that right now. And I can't imagine that's ever going to change in the future unless I suddenly start making a lot more money doing this. Roguelike and traditional roguelike. Change my mind. Well, I'll change your mind. I won't change your mind, but I will say you're wrong. How about that? Bloodborne did a lot of new and good things. I don't know. I think that it, for the most part, it kind of stuck with a lot of the traditional stuff that they had been doing in the various Souls series, but then made it a lot more active comparatively, for good and for bad. I do think that I always know who is it? Plague of Gripes. Plague of Gripes had a lot to say about the general design of the original Dark Souls that I think was lost in a lot of the sequels. But that's a discussion for another time. Go check out his stuff, I guess. Where he was talking about how it was a lot more armor focused and stuff like that in a way that wasn't just, you know, a character action-y type of game. How about an Xbox? What, like an OG Xbox? You can probably get that for cheap. Ugh. Oh yeah, you can get, well, no, you get love from donating to me on stream. That's how that works. I guess I can give regular love if I got to. Give you a giveaway. Is that what you're saying? No, you can't get... Such a thing is absurd if even... can even be parsed as a sentence. Okay, there we go. All right, there. Oh, come on. Oh, look, the second that I get cursed, it's going to be turning around just fine. Okay. Make another game with world design like DS1? I mean, there wasn't... It really wasn't that... I don't know, people... A lot of people praise the world design of Dark Souls 1, but about halfway through that kind of goes away. And it isn't too much different than something like Hollow Knight, for example. I don't know, I don't think that it was so good that... It's like that should be pointed out as like a really big part of the game, is what I'm saying. Doc, look here. I mean, that's my scroll bar. Because I have the chat popped out. Oh, they suggest a winner, suggest a Dead Cells run. I mean, you can already do that, and I have done many a suggested run. It's gonna keep happening. Don't really see how that would slow down at all, giveaway or no. No. If you're gonna do a giveaway, you gotta give away free stuff. Dark Souls 1 is fairly linear unless you have Master Key, which is the only good gift anyway. Well, no, you don't even need to digress there. I would have probably brought that up if you didn't. God, screw that up. Well, I do want to keep all of these dudes here for future curse relief, but aside from that, this is fine. The reason it was so great was because it didn't rely on physical barriers. The guided player would end up in the right place. I don't know. It took me a while to figure out that there was the catacombs in the start there. Of course, I also got confused, but at the start of where the Giant's Forest was in Dark Souls 2. So, what can I even say? Feel like I'm more of a Valve playtester type of person when it comes to navigating. All right, let's keep going. Let's give away things that you don't want or own, like a lamp or a plug-in telephone. You think I even have a plug-in telephone? Grandpa with his rotary phone over here. Okay. Why don't donate feature yet? I don't know. I think that's always one of those things where I feel like it might be off-putting to actually be asking for money on stuff, basically. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to. This is not some sort of, oh, I don't believe in selling out or what. I would love to sell out. I just don't want people to judge me for it, basically. Yes. More damage. And let's go. 50% it could be good. I think I want to keep the... Oh, yeah, I could probably hook me up with a free version of that to give away. Yeah, I mean, they probably could, but still. The end game also is bad. I mean, that was always the biggest thing that disappointed me about the remaster, the remake, whatever you would call it, for Dark Souls, was the fact that they didn't try to... maybe fix up Lost Izalith or something at all. Because that was... I don't think anybody really loves that. That's not... Can you say boo? Boo! There you go. Even when I'm with my boo, I'm crazy in love with you. No matter what you do. Anyway. That has nothing to do with nothing. Anyone excited for Diablo 4? We'll see. We'll see. I enjoyed Diablo 3. I played a lot of Diablo 3, but I don't know if it's... I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I think that's the best way to go about doing it. Gonna hate, but Dark Souls 2 was better. I like a lot of stuff in Dark Souls 2, but there was also so much. Just the way that you walked into an area and you're mobbed with 10 of the most basic knight guys who then wombo combo you to death. Or the way that there were so many fights in that game that were just, well, fight these 3 guys, and also there's somebody shooting magic or arrows or whatever off screen at you. There was so much design like that was so frustrating to deal with. A lot of enemy spam is what I was saying. I feel like the original Dark Souls had better design in that way. Of course, that's always my biggest gripe with it. Yeah. Readjust myself here. Peanut butter and mustard sandwich. I'd be down. And there we go. Oh, anyway, what's the theme today? Good run. Good run. I'm just going to get a nice win here is basically what I'm trying to do. And although it's been a little bit tricky, it's going okay. Going pretty all right, I'd like to say. Just doing damage over time, everything like that. You're going all day. Oh, no. It's just the name of Holiday, of course. Oh, come on. Persona 1 is bad, but Persona 2, Innocent Sin and Eternal Punishment are good. I feel like you can't quite discount those two things. I thought there was going to be a cursed chest around here somewhere. Oh well, I'm not going to worry too much about it. There will be a cursed chest in the next area after all. And there we go. But they're not called Persona 2. I mean, Innocent Sin and Eternal Punishment. This is enough Persona 2 if you ask me. They have their respective names. And Persona 1 isn't called Persona 1, it's just called Persona. But that's not relevant, is what I say. All right, what do we got here? I think, oh, no, I want to actually read what Firestar said about Dark Souls 2. I think that DS2 will be vastly improved with one simple change, remove the entire path to Duke's dear Freya and Freya herself. Well, there's also a bit where a lot of the bosses were just ad spam, so that's also a bit that I want to talk, that I can easily talk a lot about with Dark Souls 2, where it's just, oh, it's a kind of mediocre boss, but here's a ton of extra enemies that you have to fight at the same time. Duke's dear Freya, of course, is chief among those. The Royal Rat Authority, also same thing. Or was that Vanguard? I can never remember which one is which. We're very bad. There were some very bad bosses. Had awful bosses. I mean, you know, a lot of people complain about the over-reliance on, like, you know, generic knight guys or whatever, but I think aside from the dragon... There we go, that's what I wanted. Fortunately, I didn't even get everything that I wanted to hit, though. Oh, well. I'll deal with that. I've entirely forgotten what I was saying. Aside from the Dragon Lance armor, or whatever it's called, I thought that those guys were the best parts of the game. I like the Smelter Demon, aside from the aura. The aura was pretty bad. But, like, the Smelter Demon I thought was a fun fight. The Looking Glass Knight was one of the most memorable bits. Veldstadt was great, even though he was just a Demon Souls reference. That's good stuff. It's good stuff. There we go. Let's go. Treasure room top. I think I missed it. Oh, I was 3 enemies away from finishing that. Ah, that's annoying. Also, I should just use this right now because there is a food shop in the graveyard now. Yeah, let's go. Duolingo's all keep spamming with notifications that I should come back to studying Japanese. Maybe you should. Have you played any Battle Royale or intend to? Nah. I don't really play too much for multiplayer games entirely. So, you know, not really, probably never gonna happen. Because I'm scared of other people. Oh, come on, just hit him. Hit her. The zoom out suddenly got strange there. Okay. Not hitting anything, am I? All right. Shouldn't be a problem, though. Not at all. Doc, how'd you like Ori? I thought it was fine. I liked specifically, I liked the first dungeon and the last dungeon, but everything else was, it's okay. Okay. Oh, adaptability was terrible. Yeah, if we're gonna go hard into, like, Dark Souls 2, yeah, what the hell was adaptability? What a terrible idea. The rolling is so integral to dodging and everything that you're basically just forcing people to shove a couple stats into that just to remain, just to get the same usability that you get right off the bat from everything else. Every other game of that sort. Humanoid boss fights were the best. Yeah. Humanoid boss fights were the best in Dark Souls 1. Artorias. Well, I wouldn't even say Artorias was all that humanoid. Dark Souls 2 didn't always meet that standard of quality, so it's a trade-off. I think that a lot of the non-humanoid battles, though, were just, you know, either baffling. I'm talking, of course, the Congregation, which is maybe the worst boss in the entire series. The Covetous Demon, also obviously Freya I talked about before. A lot of ad fights. Lot of ad fights. But like the humanoid ones, I think were at least of a decent quality. Exile Sentry wasn't like amazing too. That's another one that I think kind of fell flat. But like I was saying, there's a lot of, I think there's more good ones than bad. Oh, there goes my perfect fight. Come on. Ah, that's disappointing. There. Go, perfect fight. Right as you say it, Jim. Oh, man. Horrible. So close. So close. Tells you. I'm going to keep what I got right here. So close. I mean, it's not, that's also a difficult fight to get perfect on. But I could have pulled it out there. Oh, well, let's just keep going here. Adaptability was horrible. It never explained what it did in the game. Oh, yeah, it didn't actually explain that. That's right. So I never leveled and suffered. Suffered from the fact that you couldn't seem to, that your dodge roll seemed to be bad. But why? A key problem with dude in armor in Dark Souls 2, didn't give characterization. Artorias is just a dude in armor, but Artorias fights like Artorias. Know what I mean? Yeah, I suppose so. I don't know. There was, I think something like Veldstadt was pretty notable in how he was like in lore and everything like that. And something like the Looking Glass Knight was notable in just looks. And if you're working on New Game Plus, the mechanics are pretty cool too. Also, the way that he just exploded your eardrums whenever he did that lightning attack. That was fun. But yeah, of course, I think that, you know, the lore in Dark Souls 1 is a huge reason as to why many of the characters had a lot more of a connection just based on, you know, the meta narrative of the fight with them rather than the actual fight themselves sometimes. Something like Artorias. You knew exactly who that guy was when you got to him. And you got quite a bit of a story on everything. Veldstadt had that, but a lot of other characters, not so much in Dark Souls 2. My favorite characters were Alana and Sin. Sin was cool. Yeah, Sin was also another character that got a lot of characterization before fighting him with Jorg and everything. It's just too bad that it didn't quite appear that way for everything else. Didn't quite get that same level of stuff. Oh, there we go. There we go. It's just a key you didn't use. Yeah, I probably should have looked to see how many keys I had there. I just grabbed the, what was it, the vampirism and then pieced out. Right side, DS2 was my favorite in terms of customization and build variety. That is the thing that it really excelled at, because I do think that when it comes to a lot of the Miyazaki games, they are very, you know, it's funny for all the commentary on like stagnation, bringing rot and everything like that. Miyazaki is pretty consistent with how he designs games, isn't he? Oh, well. Almost all the DLC bosses. Yeah, Burnt Ivory King is pretty good, too. Yeah, I would say that there's a good reason why people like the DLC a lot more. Although I do think that the Iron King maybe might have fallen flat in some places comparatively. Other stuff was still good. Now, it did still have a lot of the same problems with, again, you know, enemy spam and... With enemy spam and... stop getting hit. The, both enemy spam and, you know, dude shooting at you while just off screen, but at least, you know, they really hammered home a lot of the other more subtle parts of the game that are also important, that people remember a lot from Dark Souls 1 that weren't quite as apparent in Dark Souls 2. There's a lot of, like, places, there's a lot of ideas in Dark Souls 2 that I think... Dark Souls 1 felt a lot more complete. Dark Souls 2 was a lot more scattershot. It's a lot more like classic video games, where you got like your forest level and you got your desert level and blah blah blah, but they didn't really feel like a cohesive world in the same way that they did in Dark Souls 1. You have the exploding grenade now. Yes, I forget a lot of the stuff that I'm working on as I am now focused entirely on talking about Dark Souls 2, I guess. What are we playing now? We're playing Dark Souls 2, but on screen I'm also playing a round of Dead Souls, the Gogol novel. I just killed Nostrev. No, actually, you know, there are a lot of comparisons that you could make between your headless main character and Chichikov. So, hey, there's that. That hook guy really annoys me. Yeah, those catchers are annoying. If you... Actually, what I should be doing is you can duck while doing this, and they can't hit you with the hook then, but I have entirely forgotten about that. There we go. And there. Ooh, boy. Dark Souls 2 inconsistency when it comes to areas given the plot. I mean, you're literally supposed to be going all over the country of Roguelike. Even though it feels like you're just kind of walking down to the corner store, you are supposed to be like traveling all across like a literal, a huge landmass. But it doesn't, you don't get that sense of scale. You get that sense of scale in Dark Souls 1. That's where, you know, a big difference comes in, of course. There we go, and done. Oh boy. Ordrin, I feel like you understand how big that place is, even if it does seem like some of the places are a little bit too conveniently close to each other. This is so bad it's good. The inconsistencies did not make it good. Oh, I don't even... I missed that one. Never played Dark Souls, so I'm very confused, but still enjoying this conversation. Oh, you can watch my playthrough. Don't watch the playthrough of it. It's bad. It's very old, and I pretty much just said everything that I said in that playthrough, like right now. All right. Dark Souls 2 randomizer run? I mean, I could. It's been a while since I played Dark Souls 2, and I do, as frustrating as I find some parts of it, I do still like it. Also, I did see Firestar up there saying that you like the Shrine of Amana. God, I could not disagree anymore. Good lord, the Shrine of Amana is terrible. Even after it got nerfed, it's still terrible. Hope you picked up a bow, because pegging those guys in the head is the only way that you're going to get through that place. Melee build unfriendly to the extreme. Nah. I like having the flames are going to be good for getting that extra little bit of kick on there. I got through there with the dagger. Ugh, I can imagine, because I tried to go through there melee and it was a lot of just running. I hate that. 1.5 in beta? It absolutely is. Bloodborne was a nice mixture of DS2's surreal nature and DS1's scale. I mean, it also was a game that was more cohesive, I think. You know, that's a part of even though I do have some problems with how Miyazaki doesn't really seem to learn from some of his mistakes when it comes to making games, he can make a cohesive game. Sekiro was very similar in that way too, where it's like the Ashina estate was very much, you knew exactly where you were, you knew exactly how it worked and everything like that. It was also a lot less fantastic comparatively too, which I think helped. Oh boy, watch out here. Go. Let's not deal with those guys right now. Imagine Dark Souls with Kojima storytelling. I mean, I haven't played like Neo, but I know that that's a lot more story focused. Might be better because of that. I don't know. I mean, like God of War, I have not. I watched somebody play through God of War 3, or at least like the second half of it. I don't know if you really would count that though. Well, mod, so I can post links. You absolutely can. That is within your power now. Use it wisely, lest ye lose that. Just, oh, don't want to deal with. Might get kicked real fast. Bad. please don't spam. I mean, I feel like Shiv, given that he appeared in one of the Persona streams, can be trusted. But I mean, well, I suppose time will only tell now, won't it? Please don't post porn. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't have a problem with it, but YouTube, I mean, John YouTube always breathing down the back of my neck. So probably want to be safe than sorry. All right. Oh, look at him. Look at that Inquisitor right there. I hate him so much. Yeah, I don't want to deal with a bunch of elite guys down there. At least it's not John Twitch. Well, I mean, that's Jeff Twitch. Similar, but different person. Oh, okay. That was just, those were cells. Not that I even need them, but hey, why not? Boy of War is great for watching Let's Play. I will watch that. I will remember that, actually, because sure, I'm always down with finding some more people to watch. A Defender is kind of freaking me out there. I don't want to die to a curse right now. This run is going just fine here. But I do think that's what might just happen. All right, let's just take a look here. I'm going to hopefully... I'm going to say there's probably not more stuff down there, but I'm not going to go look. Because this next area is going to be much nicer for getting rid of curses. Not going to have Inquisitors, not going to have a bunch of frustrating defenders. No Inquisitors, no defenders, no bombers. It's going to be friendlier in every way possible. Thinking about playing Outer Worlds for fun or for YouTube? I should play Outer Worlds, but that's one of those things where I still haven't played through big RPGs. We got Persona, we got CrossCode coming up here, everything like that. And I also haven't even played through Witcher 3 still. I mean, I played the first 2 Witcher games, and I'm still missing out on that one. I feel like I don't want to commit to a big RPG again too soon. Although, let me tell you, I have had a lot of fun with the old Obsidian games in the past. So, played Planescape Torment and the original Baldur's Gate. Didn't play any of Icewind Dale or the Baldur's Gate 2, at least yet. But it's just you know, I hear it's pretty damn good, which is always a good sign. I mean, it's not even so much as many games, it's more that it's just they're very long. Something like Ori, for example, was actually even shorter than I thought it was going to be, so it wasn't too bad. That's the sort of thing I can do 10 of those games in a day if you want me to. Or, for example, redoing... almost got me there. Or for example, redoing a Hyper Light Drifter, Hollow Knight, etc. That was all... I'll be fine. Dead Cells is pretty long. I mean, Dead Cells is also... Dead Cells is different. It is a different game, comparatively. That is one that has a lot of exceptions with it when it comes to the series that I normally do on the channel. Oh, I forgot to go to the... You know what? The food shop. The food shop was in that area that I didn't go to. That's... Oh, that was a mistake. Yeah, I realize that right now. Unfortunate. I was disappointed by the length of Ori, but the game was good enough to be worth it. I mean, you know, it's one of those things where I just Ori's fine. I don't think that I quite got into it as much as I've seen a lot of other people, which is too bad, but, you know, hey, happens. It's one of those games that I feel even though I had kind of a tepid response to it, I'm happy to see that there are a lot of other people that are really into it, so that it's not... Oh, God. Yeah. I was happy to see that there are a lot of other people, that it's still a very popular game, because I think it deserves it. It just wasn't quite for me, you know? Looking forward to Death Stranding. I'm looking forward to playing Death Stranding and talking about it with the second guy. We worked that out during a little Persona mini stream that I was doing for the Royal before I decided to nix that. And we're going to do that one as a two-hander, and it's going to be interesting because we're going to be not so much looking at it like a game, but more as Kojima's weird passion project. And I think that's going to be more interesting than whatever can be given in terms of a video game. Yeah. And done. Cool. Oh, that's what she said. You're playing with Marty for Death Stranding. I mean, what I'm probably going to do is we're probably going to do it like the Persona series, which is to say post-commentary. Because from what I understand, it sounds like it's going to be a pretty lengthy game. And it might require a lot of editing. But we'll see when the game comes out. We'll see it. You ever going to train Marty to play Dead Cells? Did you ever see the first time that he played Dead Cells, got an overpowered broadsword and won? That is still one of the most baffling things that has happened to me in this game. He's so bad at every video game. How did he get a win there? That's neither here nor there. Oh, not worth it. I really want to keep the flames. Maybe don't pick games that take a lifetime to complete. Well, some of them I have to, like Baba, because Baba was too interesting to ignore. But most games don't take a lifetime. I mean, we'll see. 40 to 50 hours. I would expect nothing less given that the money and the time. Marty's fooling you. No, he's not. If he's fooling me, he is the greatest fooler. The greatest jackanape of all time, then. Sounds like it's mainly a walking sim based on reviews I've heard. That's fine. And that's fine, because I do think that, you know, hey, it's the dialogue and sure, why not? You know, it's the dialogue, it's going to be the lore, it's going to be everything like that I'm more interested in rather than the gameplay itself. Don't get me wrong, I loved a lot of the gameplay that you got out of stuff like Metal Gear and everything, but I'm also more than willing to just see Kojima go full ham and give me all the story that he feels like doing. We'll see. We'll see, I guess is what I'm saying here. It's going to be more interesting to talk about the game in context of its history than the game itself, is what I'm thinking. Hope Kojima goes triple ham. I mean, I think that there's a good chance that's going to... Oh, it's so weird where it's just like, I'm not all that excited for the game itself. I'm just excited for the legacy that it represents. Besides, you know, I gotta play it. After playing through, like, Bloodstained, you gotta play through that as part of the Orphans of Konami trilogy. Duology, I guess, that has now been crafted on the channel. Let me tell you, Bloodstained was pretty damn good. So, we'll see. We'll see. Could prevent full immersion. I mean, it might, but I think that, hey, it could just also create for a better narrative than the one that's actually in the game. It's a big question mark. Death Stranding is a gigantic question mark, and that is exciting to me. I love games that are big question marks. Can we expect, hey, just can we expect Death Stranding here along with Stream V? Oh, we're probably just going to end the stream after I get a win, hopefully. Hopefully. I don't think I have any more cursed chests to go, so good chance that this will be the run. But yeah, will I play Death Stranding? Absolutely. I was kind of on the fence for it for a while, but then I just decided, nope, we're doing it. We're doing it because it's just, I have played most of the Metal Gear games. You know, I didn't play like Metal Gear Acid or whatever, but most of like the mainline series and everything I played, and I liked a lot. I've paid attention to all the drama and everything, and I just want to see it. I want to see if the game is good. I don't think it's going to be a very good game, if I'm being perfectly honest. If I'm going to give my absolute honest opinion, I don't think Death Stranding is going to be good. I don't think it's going to be bad. I think it's going to be kind of mediocre. But I think that the idea that it exists is going to be a topic of conversation by itself. Oh God, I'm going to die. There we go. Doesn't matter. I already got the 60 kills. A genius could jumbo game. Yes, that's standing, but yes. Okay, well, that's cool. Bloodstained is good because it lets you play as a caster class in the Castlevania game, like Symphony of the Night was supposed to have. I mean, yeah, there were also caster classes in previous games too, like everything was Sypha. Sypha was very caster focused, and he was a big part of Castlevania 3, my favorite Castlevania. So, yeah. Have you played Metal Gear Survive? I haven't, and I gotta tell you, it's like, You think Kojima is a mentally unstable adult who everybody hails as a genius where he rambles on about fetuses and shadow monsters? No, I think he is an auteur, you know? A very classic type of character like that. And that can be good, that can be bad. I do think that the best games that he's created are the ones where he's been reined in and given limits, but that's not what we're looking at right now, so... I'm excited. I'm interested. All right, what do I even want here? You know, let's just get Tainted Flask for the future, since I might go through a couple potion charges coming up and see how that rolls out. Don't understand people are mad about Death Stranding PC release. Yeah, it's that loyalty, man. Some people are real loyal to their consoles, even though I don't get it myself. Oh, right. Every time I forget that it's like it just starts up immediately. Okay, and okay. Keep rolling, baby. Ah! Well, no perfect fight, but I didn't really expect that, to be honest. Go. I mean, it was promised to be a PS4 exclusive, so I guess I can kind of understand it in that point, but I don't know. It doesn't bother me. It's one of those things that doesn't bother me. Hey, get marked again. Yeah. Yeah, you get marked again. Still don't have a Bloodborne release? I mean, that was actually... Yeah, that's actually kind of surprising because, you know, that was like a... You would think that just to get the money, even right now, if they decided to put it out on PC, there would still be a huge market for it. It's not like that stopped at any point in time. Damn it. Okay, that'll work. Every time, man. Those crystals can get you. Okay, come on. Those crystals can get you, man, but that's why I got the heart after all. Come on. Ugh. Not taking me. I have like 30 points of brutality. You think that you're taking a little bit more damage. Oh, that was close. Okay. Ah, that's fine. That's fine. I can deal with that. There. Man. Crystals kill me every single time. I understand, man. Ooh. Alright, get out of here, you. I don't need any more of that. And 250, but I lose out on the flame. I don't know. I think I'm going to take it, though. Flames are great and everything. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Roll. Ah. How can I ask this? The boss in the mobile version? From what I understand, mobile version is a very old... version, so it's not in there quite yet. Probably start taking things that aren't just my main stat, but whatever. Very cool. Hey, thanks, Ryo. Ryo Sawa? Damn it. Katakana is not my strong suit, clearly. Right, you can go straight to the Hand of the King fight. I know, right? That's why I did that. Ah, zing. Low-level bows don't do you much favor in that fight, despite having so much brutality. I mean, they're not that low-level. They're 200%. 7 rank. Go directly into the throne room? Yep, as of this update. It's in beta right now if you want to jump into it. Okay. Hey, thanks, Caden. All right, he's going to go immediately into second phase stuff. Ah, yes. Damage over time, definitely hyper effective against this fellow. Against this saucy lad. Not into the thing. Okay, that was close. And that... Oh, I was hoping that was going to do a little bit more damage. Not quite. All right. Oh. Throw some bombs. Yeah, there we go. Jeez, man. Gotta help me out here, hand. All right. Take a nice drag on the coffee and let's get on with this. Still a little bit worrying in terms of health, but it's not too bad. All right, all right. Let's go. Demon Souls apparently being forgotten, unlike Souls and Born. I know, I would love to play it myself. I mean, yeah, it's also kind of surprising that we haven't gotten any sort of re-release of that. I mean, it's kind of questionable as to how well it stands up, but that was the original Souls game that I played back in like 2009 or whatever when that came out. It's like, that's, even before people were getting into Dark Souls, I'm one of the OGs, blah, blah, blah. Look at how cool I am, Gen 1er. But still, you know what I'm saying. No? It's a decent game. What are those scroll fragments? Also, new thing in the update. It's in beta now if you want to check it out. You get 4 of them, they turn to a full scroll. Great. Now I gotta get off my foot before it completely falls asleep. And there we go. I mean, you know, it is funny that we are immediately talking about... Okay. I hate you so much. But it's funny that we were talking so much about Death Stranding when we did do a big PT bit at the very start of the stream, too. Oh, boy. Yep. Ah, it's so painful. All right, that's fine, that's fine. This is why I took healing. Would you redeem boss cells? Would you redeem? Yeah, you can get boss cells with custom mode. Don't even worry about that. In fact, I would highly recommend doing so because you're shooting yourself in the foot if you're not. All right. Okay, and done. Ba-dum, boom, boom. Another one bites the dust. That's right. Anything good here? I mean, oh no, that's the good. That's good. That is good. Always, always, always getting those delicious toxic cloud explosions, giving even more damage just from the Hokuto's bow alone. Oh, look at it go. Look at he go. It's also a very high level version of that too. Demon Souls isn't so much about the quality as it is persevering, one of the more influential games in modern times. Yeah, I mean, I think that is also important. That is a good point, where not everybody's going to have a PS3 these days. Oh, yeah. I think I'm going to stick with what I got right now. I was more piqued by the idea of a Silent Hill game with Kojima at the helm. Feel like it would have been hyper mind screwy. I mean, just looking at what we got with PT, it's so disappointing that we didn't get to see whatever the full version of the game. Would it have lived up to the quality that PT promised? I don't know. But we're not going to know. We can't know. Nobody will ever know. It's the worst. Konami really did bad job on that one. Frustrating. What do you think of La Mulana 1 and 2? I have only played La Mulana 1, but I remember that was actually where I saw my first LP. When I was unable to... Damn it. You know what? This is about the point in time for this. Why not? I'm gonna get another one by the end here. Yeah, when I was playing La Mulana for the first time by myself, I couldn't figure out where to go and happened upon Deceased Crab's old LP of that. That was the first one that I had ever seen. I remember being very irritated that somebody was talking over gameplay at the start. But then, because I had to keep going back to his playthrough for it, I eventually got used to it, and I'm like, oh, actually, no, this is really great. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. I think DC's still around doing stuff. Probably played through La Mulana too. Like, I should go watch that out of loyalty, if nothing else. Just beat the Hand of King once. It started. Oh yeah, getting the tubes. That's beat the Hand of King on one cell mode, and you get a full build now rather than just a single starting item. It's pretty great. All right, let's go. I am missing one of the keys. I'm missing, well, both of the keys actually. So I'm gonna have to come back here, but just getting this cleared out in the first place is going to be helpful. Yeah. Also stats. Yeah, the custom mode rune is what you need to actually get into custom mode. It is dropped immediately at the start of the ramparts from an elite. Come on now. Some nonsense there. All right. It's not looking too good for me now. Hey, sell this thing. Spawning directly next to the thing. Sure, why not? Ah, Doom looms over you. Oh, whatever, it's fine. I'll recover by the end of this. Don't even worry about it. I have tricks up my sleeve like you wouldn't even believe. A lot of them. They're all very tricky. Oh, come on now. Aw, come on. You can't just put me in that position right there. Ah, whatever. I don't care. If you die, will you restart to get your victory? Nah. Getting too distracted by talking about stuff. Whatever. It was fine. It would have been fine. If I didn't go through to do the giant fight, I would have gotten that easy peasy. Yeah, too much time reading chat. It's true. Oh, well, I mean, really, it's like, you play the game, you win the game. You know, sometimes you play the game,